Alright guys, welcome to another Wednesday episode of the Texting Chicago. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to give a huge shout out to everybody who watched last Wednesday's video about what happened to Garrett metal detectors. Super huge views on it. Just want to say thank you. These episodes on Wednesday are going to be on different topics. Probably going to do live stream once a month, and just want to talk about things that I see throughout the hobby, or things that I've seen through my years of metal detecting, and go over them with you and see what you guys have to say about it. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why people quit metal detecting. And a few groups I'm in recently, and even with somebody who hunts with us locally, I've had the instance of seeing people who go out metal detecting, see stuff people find online or out with their hunting buddies, and they ain't finding stuff, and their buddies are finding stuff, and all of a sudden they want to quit metal detecting. See it all the time, happens everywhere. But today I wanted to go over a few points of not only, I guess, why people quit metal detecting, but maybe some tips for people that are also getting into the hobby of metal detecting. This could go twofold: for the people getting in and for the people who are in it and getting frustrated and irritated and just want to throw their hands up and smash their machine against a tree. So I kind of broke it down into 5 different things that I think are the keys to either somebody new in the hobby or somebody who's been in the hobby for a while of why they quit metal detecting. Also tips for somebody getting in of what they should realistically think about the hobby of metal detecting. The first big thing I came on was people buying the wrong equipment. This is somebody getting into the hobby or somebody already in the hobby who thinks they have to have the next best, greatest thing that comes out. Brand new metal detector comes out, got all these new bells and whistles, and everybody and their mother thinks they have to have one. The new person getting in the hobby thinks they have to have the most expensive, complicated equipment that's out there so they can make the greatest finds, and a person who's been in the hobby for a while is buying the next great thing that comes out. 6 months down the road, they'll be doing the same thing again when another company comes out with something new. You don't need to spend a crap ton of money on buying the newest, greatest equipment that's out there. There's people I know who Harold in our group kicks our butt on a regular basis. We use it in an AT Pro and with a Nell Tornado coil. That's, even if you bought that machine new now, it's $500 or $600. You get them used for like 3, maybe with accessories for like $400, compared to the Deus 2 that's over $1,000, the CTX that's still over $1,000, a Manicore that's over $1,000. You don't have to go out and buy the newest, greatest thing to enjoy the hobby of metal detecting. Either if you're just now getting into the hobby or if you've been in the hobby for a while. The second point I came on is kind of twofold also for people in the hobby and those new to the hobby. When you buy your metal detector, you can't just go out, use it for a couple of weeks, a couple of hunts, and then be like, oh, this thing, everybody told me this was going to be a great machine and it's a piece of junk. I can't use it. I can't find anything. I can't figure it out. The more complicated and expensive your machine is going to be, the more it's going to take you longer to learn it. I've had CTXs. I've had E-Tracks. I've had Deuses. Those are machines that you can customize programming to whatever you want it to do and make it as complicated as you want to make it. They have preset programs where you can turn it on and go and make a few tweaks here or there as you're going through to make it work better on your ground. Or you can literally go in and wipe the whole programs out and create your own programs from scratch. So I would say the number 2 thing is learn your machine. No matter if you buy an AT Pro or if you get a CTX, a Manicore, a Deus 2, a Deus 1, an Equinox, whatever you buy, you're going to have to take the time to learn that machine. None of these machines really are turn on and go. Sure, you can turn them on, you can put it in a factory program and start hunting. That's perfectly fine. Most people, that's the way you start. But until you tweak that machine to work good on your ground, if you have mineralized soil, if you have a lot of iron, if you're dealing with EMI because you're more in an urban area like what we deal with a lot, you're going to have to make adjustments to that machine. And to be able to make those adjustments, you're going to have to learn your machine. If you don't learn your machine, you're shooting yourself in the foot right off the bat. Like I said, you could get an AT Pro all the way up to something like an Equinox, a Deus 2, a Manicore, whatever. Wherever you decided to jump in, you're going to have to learn that machine. There's always going to be a learning curve for any machine you pick up and use. That also kind of folds into the third thing that I kind of thought of, which is people not having patience. And also the fourth thing, which is an unrealistic view of what metal detecting actually is. A lot of people get into the hobby by watching YouTube, watching people like me and the group of guys I hunt with, or other channels, or old TV shows of what I got into the hobby watching the diggers. You get into the hobby, you watch these videos, you see people find crazy stuff every video. And you're like, oh, these guys are buying a metal detector and going out and metal detecting, and every time they go out, they're finding something good. Why did I just spend $1,200 on this new metal detector? I'm going out and I'm not finding anything. You know, I'm just finding junk, or I'm just finding clad. You know, I'm not finding silvers and large cents and all this crazy stuff I see these guys on YouTube finding. And it's just an unrealistic view of metal detecting. You know, when you watch these YouTube videos of people going out metal detecting, you're watching an edited format of what they are doing. Just taking our channel, for instance, there's plenty of times we go out, I go to film, don't find a lot of stuff, but it'll be entertaining to people on YouTube watching. I'm not going to film every little wheat penny and bob and thing that comes out of the ground, because that's not going to get views on YouTube. Same thing if you go back and watch like the Digger TV show and other metal detecting TV shows. You're not going to see them just walking around all day for a 15 to 20 minute long video and just finding junk, or maybe finding 1 or 2 good finds. If we go out metal detecting with our group and only find 1 or 2 good finds, and I'm going to take that video and it's going to become a YouTube short video, or a video that I post on my Instagram or my Twitter. It's not going to become a video, a clip that becomes into a video. I can't take a 1.5 minute, 2 minute long clip and turn that into one video and there's nothing else to go with it. So don't base what you think you're going to go out and find metal detecting off of what you see people on YouTube finding. You know, there's a lot of process that goes into making good YouTube videos, no matter if they're metal detecting or in any other different, you know, realm of what you would watch on YouTube. If you want to be successful on YouTube, you got to make videos that people are going to watch. People aren't going to watch you walk around and find junk all day. They want to spend their 15, 20 minutes, which is like an average length of a video, watching somebody find something cool. And they don't want to watch just somebody going around and finding clad and, you know, modern junk and stuff like that, and maybe finding a silver dime or something like that. So understand the reality of what metal detecting is. A lot of people, they're not going to show you the pouch full of trash that they dump out at the end of the day, for even if they have a 15, 20 minute video. Like if the main channel I watch that I've stuck around with the most out of anybody is watching the Hoover Boys. When you watch them at the end of their videos, they dump out their pouches, they put all their good finds onto a mat and show you the good finds. But then he pans over and shows a find of a bucket that's full of iron and aluminum cans and pull tabs and nails, all this stuff that you're going to find on a regular basis if you're metal detecting, if you're trying to find good stuff, if you're not just cherry picking or anything else. Even if you're cherry picking, you're still going to find trash, you're still going to find bottle caps and other stuff like that, more modern junk trash that's going to ring up the same way that silver or copper coins or anything else is going to ring up. So, first of all, have the patience to know the equipment you need. Don't jump into something that's just because everybody and their mother is using it or it's the newest hot thing that you have to have it. If you're already in the hobby and you're doing good with a machine, 9 times out of 10, if you go to that newer machine, most of the people I see that do that, I would say maybe 80% of the time, either end up sick of the hobby because they're not finding stuff now, or they end up getting rid of that new machine and going back to the machine they were using before that. Same thing if you're new getting into the hobby. You don't need the newest, greatest thing. Find something that's going to work for you, that you can learn, and that you can at least grow with and advance yourself in metal detecting for at least like maybe 2 or 3 years. Something that you're going to be able to learn that machine and not outgrow it for 2 or 3 years. Now, I'm not talking about like outgrow it like it's going to be too small for you to swing or something. You know, you want to be able to buy a machine that you're going to be able to use, find stuff, but at the same time, learn the fundamentals of metal detecting. Learn what threshold is, learn what notch is, learn what different frequencies do, all the settings that come on the machines. If you don't take the patience and learn those things, you're not going to learn your machine. If you don't learn your machine, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to become frustrated and you're going to want to, if you're new in the hobby, you're going to quit. If you've been in the hobby for a long time and you've gone to a new machine and you're not learning it, if you're switching back and forth, say you already had a machine and you buy a new one, you use the new one 1 or 2 times and you get frustrated and you're like, oh, I'm going to go back to the other one. Well, you're shortcutting yourself on both machines because you're not learning them. You're going back and forth between 2 different machines that probably have way different settings and way different ways they function, and you're shortcutting yourself on both. So you're not learning one machine and you're not learning the other, even though you think, oh, hey, I do good on this machine. I'm not doing good on my new machine, so let me go back to my old machine. Well, you've already started learning the new stuff for the new machine. It's going to be completely different from your old machine. So even if you did well with your old machine, you're still going to have hiccups with it. The whole thing with metal detecting is patience. One of the best people that go out and metal detect with us now is probably the most patient person I've ever seen metal detecting. There's a guy that learns his machines in and out, goes out relentlessly, even if it's for an hour a day or whenever he can get out, finds stuff, and then takes the patience to go through areas. Another part of that is that people will go out metal detecting and they're running over here, they're running over there. They may be hunting with a buddy and their buddy finds something and they're across the field. So I'm going to leave the spot that I'm at and I'm going to go across the field. That may be the only good find over there, or there may be something else, and you may not put your coil over it and your buddy just wipes you out and finds everything. The thing of metal detecting, a big part of it is patience when it comes to learning your machine, knowing your equipment, having the right equipment, and just being patient. And don't have an unrealistic reality of what metal detecting is just based off of watching YouTube videos. You're going to see videos where people find amazing things. Most YouTube videos are anywhere between the 15 to 20 minute range. That's the sweet spot. You may watch videos where people find amazing stuff. And you're like, man, why am I going out? Why do I have this $1,200 machine? Why am I taking the time to learn this machine? And I'm still not finding all this crazy stuff that I see this guy find on a weekly basis. Well, he's not finding that on a weekly basis. A lot of times there's times that you go out and you film video and it never gets seen by anybody. You know, it may be a clip or two. It may end up getting used for shorts and not an actual whole video. So base your perception of metal detecting on reality. Not just what you see on YouTube, not just what you've seen on TV shows about metal detecting. It's a lot of work, and yes, you can find awesome stuff, but it's not going to happen all the time. Another thing with that is learn to do research. Learn to use historical aerials. Learn to use topo maps. Learn to use resources like information from historical societies, information online about, you know, if I'm going to metal detect in a town I've never metal detected in before, I'm going to look that town up. I'm going to look the history of it up. You know, when was it founded? When was stuff started to be built? You know, was it mostly farming back in the day? Did it blow up into a huge town? You know, has this park been here forever? I can go back on historical aerials and find this stuff. One of my most used things for doing research is just going through Google Maps, finding a location, getting the address, putting it into historical aerials, and looking up as far back as it'll go and see what was there before. You know, has this park that's currently here today that I think I'm going to go metal detect at, has this park always been a park? You know, was it not a park maybe 15, 20, 30 years ago, and there may have been a house there, there may have been some other kind of structure there. You got to be able to do the research, which is my main point of what you'll get out of metal detecting is what you're willing to put in. It's like a lot of things in life. If you put in the work, learn your equipment, have the patience, have a realistic view of what you're going to find based off the research that you've done. And sometimes you may do the research and a site seems like it's going to be amazing, and you may go there and not find anything. Somebody could have hunted it a few years before you. They could have come in and tore up all the ground and redid a park, and now it's just all fill, and they took all the original dirt out that had all the good stuff in it. Happens a lot. But understand that if you have patience, learn your machine, have a realistic view of what you're going to find in the hobby out metal detecting, and not just think that every time you're going to go out you're going to find gold and silver and amazing rare coins and big hunky pieces of jewelry. There's going to be plenty of times that I've gone out the last few days to be able to film a video to have footage for next week and haven't been able to find anything. It's going to happen. There's going to be times that you're going to go out. You may go out for an hour. You may go out for 6 hours and not find much of anything. But it's going to happen. Don't just get frustrated with stuff and just decide, oh, hey, screw all this, I'm going to quit. Now you're sitting there with that expensive metal detector that you're going to have to resell and take less money for, and didn't enjoy the hobby. Didn't get the joy of being able to go out and find something. No matter if you're looking for, if you want to be a coin shooter and look for coins, if you want to be a relic hunter and look for relics, if you're going to be a beach hunter or like a volleyball, do volleyball pits and parks and playgrounds and want to look for jewelry, there's going to be days that you're going to do good, and there's going to be days where you're not going to do good. So, like I said, these videos on Wednesdays are going to be for going over things that I see, just going through different Facebook groups and Instagram and what people are posting and what I may hear from other local metal detectorists, and something may catch my mind and it'd be like, I want to make a video on that. That is what these Wednesday videos are going to be. I'm probably going to end up doing a live stream video. It'll be during the day. Probably like around noonish, or in between noon to 2 on like one Wednesday a month. Just, you guys can put questions in, chit chat, do whatever. But I want to thank everybody who's watched the videos. The views have been going crazy. Subscribers have been going up. It's been so much fun. I regret ever stopped making videos a couple of years ago and taking a long time off, but back in it and trying to give y'all some good content. Want to give y'all some different stuff than what we've done before. This week's video that's going to be coming out Friday is going to be not even a metal detecting video. Just a video of me going out to a spot where I found old bottles before and looking for old bottles. Some people may like it, some people may not. We're just going to be trying new things. There's going to be new stuff and all different kinds of categories that involve treasure hunting, metal detecting. So, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you later.